What's up, y'all? Drill88 here, and right now this is my first AlcheMonster beta playtest, and I have with me Heather. Say hello.
Hello.
And she is going to be helping me play on this first adventure. She has a character set up, and we're just gonna see what kind of crazy insanity we can get in trouble with. So, Heather, tell me about your character.
My character's name is Geraldine, and she is a Terramagus. She grew up on a sugarcane farm off in, I don't know, some backwater somewhere.
Okay.
Growing up around all that raw sugar, she has a real weakness for the stuff.
Okay.
Gets sugar high pretty good. We'll go after it as much as she can. It's kind of like sweet crack.
Yes, well, that's what sugar pretty much is, isn't it?
It is. It is. Slightly less bad for you, although that is also up for debate, but
Very much so. Okay, so her quirk is sugar high. What is her traits?
relentless, reckless, and enthusiastic.
Why not?
Why
And
not?
you're starting off at level 1.
Mm-hmm.
You have basic stats, solid leather armor,
A mace.
a spell book, and a folding shovel, which I believe was a gift from her dad.
Yep.
Okay.
Maybe from her 12 brothers and sisters. I'm not 100% sure who decided to give her the small folding shovel, but she's got it. That's really all that matters.
Right. Okay. Well, Geraldine is going to be on a airship.
Okay.
She is heading into town, or rather, let's just say she has been on this airship from one island to another. Would she have left voluntarily, or did the other island chase her away?
I think she would have left voluntarily if somebody told her that like another island was pretty exciting. She'd be like, "Yes."
Yeah, all
And
this
then
is
off
like,
she goes.
sugar, that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyway, right now she is on the airship, and let's see here, my notes. Okay, she is heading for the island known as Twin Spire Island.
Okay.
It is a relatively large island because it has a kingdom built into it, castle walls, castle in the center. And the only way in and out of this island is through the one airship dock that is in this one big town. This is the only town on the island, as far as you know. It's the biggest one on the map. And as the airship docks, everybody's unloading their cargo, and Geraldine steps off, and you know absolutely nothing about this place. What's the first thing you do?
Well, I'm gonna take a really good look around and see if I see anybody who looks like they might be in charge or like a police force or a town guard or something to that effect. Somebody that I can get directions from.
Immediately on the dock, there's just the airship foreman. But if you leave the dock tower and head back down, you would probably end up in the immigration's office.
Let's go to the immigration office. That sounds good.
Okay, so down there you just see the basic hustle and bustle, a typical medieval metropolis sort of area. Not huge, but still big enough.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who isn't on the ship seems to know each other. People notice you because you're not from around here. It's pretty obvious. Anyway, you make your way to the immigrations people, I guess.
Yeah.
And they check your stuff in, make sure you're not carrying anything illegal. They double check your shovel. They check your spell book, but you get all that stuff back. And what do?
Ask for directions to the nearest bar.
Okay, the old lady behind the counter kind of looks you up and down, then like shakes her head, says something about youngsters getting drunk too early, and she points
Oh
you.
no, ma'am, I'm not there to get drunk, but I'm hungry, so I need to go get some dinner.
She nods and says, "Right." Anyway, she gives you directions to. Let's see here. I believe I have this. Yes. the. She directs you to the Old Log Tavern, which is not very far, just a few blocks. And as you start towards the tavern, it is fairly normal. I mean, people's out doing their thing. Everybody's not smiles and rainbows, but no one's particularly down in the mouth. I mean, it's just a typical, like a brisk walk through New York, basically.
Okie dokie.
Anyway, you make it to the Old Log Tavern, and it literally looks like a gigantic log with a door on the side of it.
I'll probably stand there and kind of look at it funny for a little while. Maybe, a couple seconds. And then I'm going to open the door and go inside.
Roll 20.
Oh, right. I can type that in. I have my dice in front of me, so. 16.
16! You narrowly dodge a tankard suddenly being tossed at you as soon as you open the door.
Hey!
The inside is a typical, as soon as you open the door, it is loud, it is noisy, it's a typical bar. There's one particular large scuffle that's going on in the middle of the bar that involves several people hitting each other and throwing stuff at each other. Everybody else around them just seems to be ignoring them like this is an everyday occurrence. And the barman is a guy in his late 50s. He's kind of like glancing at them nervously, but he's still just like cleaning cups. It's like he knows this isn't a very big deal, but he's still rather...
It could become a big deal.
It could become a big deal, yes.
Okay. So I'm going to dodge any more flying crockery, and I'm going to go up to the barman and...
Okay, he's wearing a little employee tag named Clyde. He looks at you. What do you want? Kind of like glances back and forth.
I'd like a cup of tea, a plate of dinner, and what's going on over there?
He looks at you kind of funny, especially at the tea thing, but he shrugs and is like, whatever, it's your money, and starts to get your stuff. He comes back with a cold cup of tea in a wooden cup and what looks like some bread and a couple slices of meat. And at your question, he says, oh, that's just the local disturbance. Some neighbor didn't like what the other neighbor said about his dog, and there's scuffle. This happens fairly often.
And it's okay to fight in the bars here?
Well, they've been at it for the last 75 years. You suddenly notice that there's a couple of old people doing this. And it's like, so it's more like part of the peace rather than disturbing the peace at this point. They don't have many more years in them. Let them have their fun.
Have you considered installing a boxing ring? You could charge money and get people to watch. And
he thinks about this for a minute, then shrugs a bit and is like, I would, but it's really hard to get ahead of this day and age in this town.
But if you have an awesome attraction like fighting old people, you could have a sign outside and a guy yelling in the street.
The Clyde shrugs and nods. It's like I said, it'd be a good idea, but that requires resources and money, and like I said, it's hard enough just to run a bar around here.
Okay. This tea is cold. Can I have some sugar?
He blinks at you. That'll be another gold piece.
They better get lots of sugar for a gold piece.
Okay, out of character. Gold is pretty much how there's silver and there's gold, and he is definitely trying to milk you for money. Just saying.
Oh, okay.
Copper is used for like ornaments.
Okay.
Okay, back to that. He nods, shrugs, goes, gets you a cup of sugar, and pushes it towards you like, have fun, and just like goes back to. I just realized what I did. Oops. Okay. He goes back. He looks at you a little creepily as you chuckle, and then steps aside a few yards and goes back to cleaning the counter.
I dump the sugar in my cold tea and start stirring. I eat the rest of my dinner. And when it's all good and mixed in, drink the tea with the sugar. Um, not just like dainty finger up sips, but
You're
like
quaffing it.
glug.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, okay. While you're eating, eventually this one guy kind of like comes into the bar, sidesteps the flying tankard out of instinct, and it's like comes up and sits next to you in the bar. Um, it doesn't appear like he's having a very good day. He is kind of like glancing back and forth, muttering to himself. Uh, roll 20 to see if you hear anything in particular.
Oh wait, on the thing. 16.
16 again. Yeah, you hear him mutter sort of like, King's crazy, kill us all, stupid, get out of here, no money. But he kind of knows you're listening, he like shuts up, but you can tell he's still worried about something.
Well, hello there, temporary neighbor at the bar. I've just heard that you might have some problems. Did you want to talk about it? That's what bars are for. And then there's old people fighting in the middle. Did you see the people in the middle? They're fighting and they're old.
He is a little freaked out at the sudden chatterbox that came out of nowhere, but he like looks you up and down. He's like, "Well, you're not from around here, are you?"
No, sir, I'm not around from here. I'm from a cane farm.
That explains so much. Look, it's not all I'm trying to do is just figure out to get some way off this island, and it's another 3 days before the Zeppelin comes back, so I'm just trying to make some money in the meantime.
What do you do to make some money on this island? I've never been on this island before. This is my first trip.
He scratches his cheek, looks at you and kind of scoots away a little. But he's like, well, you could always go to the bounty store or maybe get a temporary job in the lumber yard or the mines, but I really don't think it's going to do you much good.
Why don't you think it's going to make me so much good? I think that it might be a really good idea. Although the mines in the lumberyard sounds really boring. I left the home because farming is boring, and mining doesn't sound very much more interesting than farming. So, where's the bounty store?
Oh man, I can't eat and listen to you at the same time. I'll choke. Okay, he looks at you and let me see. Let me roll 20. This is a do I give a crap roll? 13. He like shrugs like, well, look, all in all, I don't think it's gonna make much difference because in a few more days, everyone here's just gonna die.
Wait a second, you're talking about everybody that's gonna die. Why are you saying that everybody's
He shoves
gonna die?
his hands over your mouth, like, be quiet. You don't say that out loud. You certainly don't scream it. He motions to the bartender and orders a cup of warm milk and shoves it in your hand. Drink, and then I'll tell you.
I shrug, and then I glug.
Okay, he waits. Does it have any effect on you?
I'm sleepy.
Okay. He oh my gosh. Okay, he blinks and like pokes you or makes sure you're awake.
Hello.
Hi, mate, you know what? I don't care. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you. The king is crazy. He wants to drain the island of the Xinthius and use it to power his monsters, but he wants to take all of it. And if all the Xinthius is taken, then it's just the island will collapse. We'll go underneath the cloud cover.
But nobody goes under the clouds and lives.
I know that, but like I said, the king is crazy. He's evil. I mean, I've seen him, like, his guards drag people away.
We should Okay, we need to find monsters. We need to find monsters with wings.
He blinks. He thinks for a minute. I don't know much about monsters, but Wizard might.
Who?
Wizard. He's the local wizard.
Wizard the Wizard.
Yeah.
This sounds like an interesting person. We need wings so that like if the ground falls, then we can fly.
Yeah, I can't exactly do that, so I'm just trying to get enough money to get on an airship, thanks. But if you wanted to talk to Wizard, he gives you directions. It's pretty straightforward. Turn left here, turn right there. And yeah. Clyde comes up and gives the man his beer, and he promptly ignores you at this point, wanting to drown his sorrows in liquor.
Okay, well, you can get drunk and pretend that it's not gonna happen, and then be all fatalistic like everybody around here seems to be. I'm gonna go try and find some wings, and you can come with me if you want, but I don't mind.
He's still ignoring you. Still, right now he's chugging half the tankard.
Okay, bye. And I grab my pack and off I go. I'm gonna go find Wizard the Wizard.
Okay. Roll 20 for navigation.
Oh boy.
Let's see. You've just been on sugar high, and you just chugged milk and you're sleepy. Give me roll 20 minus 3.
3.
You are lost as all get out. The only more lost you could end up is if you fell off the island. And that's a several 100-mile walk. Okay. Let's see. Where do you end up? Da, 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 da. 6. Okay. You find yourself at the city gates. There's a couple guards there. Outside the gates, you can see plains, flatlands, grasslands, rolling hills type stuff. It is past noon. Sun's on its downward incline, so you have a few more hours of daytime left. What do you do?
I assume there's a guard at the gate.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Excuse me. I'm trying to find Wizard the Wizard.
The guard looks at you. He's like, "You're not from around here, are you?"
No.
Okay. He points, and the city's kind of on a hill. With this is the lowest point of the hill. If you turn around and look, you can see all the way up the city, and at the very top is the castle. He's like, "You see that statue up there, which is easily about almost 20 blocks away? It's this giant statue of this what looks like a king." He's like, "Go there, and then go left about 2 blocks, and you should get there."
2 blocks left of the giant statue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look for the house with the blue roof.
Blue roof. Gotcha. Thank you.
So you go off?
I wander off for attempt number 2 of trying to find Wizard the Wizard.
Okay, now that you have more of a defined directions, you get there. I'd say it takes maybe an hour to get there. It's a pretty big place, and there's a lot of people, so you gotta walk around people. And you come across it's a wizard's hut, but this one looks like a shack that has a gigantic blue wizard's hat for a roof. There's 2 windows underneath the brim of the hat, and a big half-circle door in between the two windows.
I will go up to the door and I will knock politely.
You hear a "come in."
I will try to open the door.
Door opens.
Right.
Okay. Inside is a typical wizard shop. There is books and scrolls on a bunch of bookshelves and stuff like that all over the place. You can see here and there the faint glow of Xinthias. There's a lot of magic in this place, more than would be normal for any patch of land. You could probably wizards probably keeping stuff going, like floating books here and there, like a broom sweeping the floor by itself and stuff like that.
Wow.
So what do? Right now you're just in the front of the store. You heard a voice probably near the back.
I'm gonna go see if I can find Wizard the Wizard.
Okay, you bypass everything. You don't touch anything, and nothing breaks. So
Which is good.
you make it to the back, and there is Wizard. Is this old guy who honestly looks like a human version of the shop. He has a really oversized blue wizard's hat, round glasses over his beady little eyes, and mustache and beard. So he looks at you like, "Oh, hello. How can I help you?"
I really like what you did matching your hat to the shop's hat. That's pretty cool.
Why, thank you.
I'm looking for, well, see, I think I'm gonna need wings pretty quick. So I was wondering if you could help me find somewhere where I could, I don't know, find a monster and steal their wings, or maybe just buy a pair of wings, or,
Wings, huh? Those are... You mean like a dragonoot's wings or a griffin's wings?
whatever kind of wings will actually let me fly. I have reason to believe that, I may have to be able to fly pretty quick because, there's a thing going around that maybe the island might fall down.
Oh, no, that couldn't happen unless someone took all the Xinthium, and why, there's a Xinthium mine under the very city itself where the king is mining. And it would take a lot of power to drain all the Xinthium from the island. Now, why on earth would you think that the island's suddenly gonna drop?
Well,
He's like rocking back and forth in a chair. He looks like he's about 200 years old.
well, sir, may I call you sir?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I was eating some dinner, and
Very good
then,
dinner.
yes, it was good dinner. It was kind of cold. I don't think they understand that tea's supposed to be hot. But, anyway, and there was this guy, and
You know,
he was
I
afraid.
always like to have my tea cold myself, you know. He's like talking to himself, but still looking at you.
And there was this guy, and he was afraid, and then he told me that he was pretty sure that in a few days the king would have all the Xanthium, and then the island would fall because he took all of it out, but he didn't care because he had some monsters that would hold him. And if it's the king's Xanthium mine and the king wants to take all the Xanthium out, then well, at least it's slightly more possible than if it was the king's Xanthium mine and I don't know, cousin Vinny wanted to take it all out at least. So I'd really like some wings.
He listens and he's like nods slowly, and then after a minute you realize he fell asleep.
Wow, this guy. I find a blanket and I tuck him in his chair. Good night, old Mr. Wizard. I'm gonna have to go find a new source for wings.
Okay, just as you're about to leave, a young girl walks in. Looks to be about 14 or 15. Looks up and he's like, "Oh, hi. Are you here to talk to Great Grandpa?"
Well, I was trying to talk to him, but then he fell asleep. I guess I was boring.
Oh, no, he falls asleep all the time. It's actually pretty funny when he falls asleep. Whenever he's mixing potions, his hair changes color.
You mean it's not supposed to be green?
No, she giggles. Anyway, she like looks up at you, smiling. Real nice girl. Look like she'd be helpful.
Hey, do you happen to know where I might be able to find a monster or a source of wings?
She said, "Oh, well, I know that the mountain area outside of town, I think dragonoots may live there, and I think maybe some griffin nests might be up there. Maybe I don't know. They don't let me outside of the. They don't let. Actually, no one really leaves the castle. Really, the king's really mean and stuff. He doesn't like people getting out. That's why tickets to get on the airship's so expensive. Or at least that's what my mom told me.
Wait, you're not allowed to go outside?
No, I really don't think no one is. The guards get really cranky when anyone from the town, at least, goes outside. I know people come in from the flying ships, and they 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 go outside, and no one seems to bother them. But the last time I think I saw Billy's uncle, or was it Joey's uncle? Anyway, one of my friend's uncles, they tried to leave, said they really had to go do something, and the guards were all like, "No, you can't go. No, that's against the king's. That something about the king's law or something. I don't understand."
This is a very not not good. Um, when you have to stay in the thing in the city just because somebody said you have to, that's no fun.
No, no, my dad, him and mom getting like big talks about the king, and they like say a bunch of words that I really don't understand, and they call the king that. But I'm guessing the king's not a really nice person. Nobody in here really likes him.
I've been getting this particular feeling myself. You know, um um well, maybe maybe we should figure out a way to like find a secret door out or something so people can leave if they want to. That seems wrong.
Yeah, well, I've that sounds like a good idea. But I don't guess anyone's found one yet, 'cause it's been like this for a very long time.
Hmm. I
Uh,
don't suppose
can
your
I
mom's
can I go
somewhere
check?
around.
Oh, mom. Well, uh, she like thinks for a minute, mostly 'cause I totally forgot what I was gonna say. um, yeah. My mom, she's in the bakery right across the street. She turns around and points out the door. There's a baker shop right across the street.
Okay. I assume you're probably gonna go check on your grandpa. He kinda I haven't heard quite as loud as snoring. Um I'm gonna go and talk to your mom and see you later.
Okay, bye, lady. She walks
Bye.
off.
I wander over to the baking shop. Excuse me.
The inside of the baker shop is mostly empty. You see a rather nice looking lady, like, in a baker's outfit, uh, kind of a bandana thing around her head, keeping her hair back, and an apron. Hello. How can I help you?
I was just talking to Wizard the Wizard and then apparently to your daughter.
Oh,
And
yes.
I was kind of wondering, she kind of, you know, this is probably the third time that somebody's mentioned something about the king being kind of just a little on, well, just a few canes short of a patty. And I was kind of wondering if you could sort of explain it because I only have enough money to take like the common zeppelin that I can I can leave in a week, but then like some other people are saying that there's not a lot of time, and there's something really weird going on. And I just really like to know what it is.
Well, the lady introduces herself as Amelia. She tells
I'm
you.
Geraldine.
Hmm?
Hello, I'm Geraldine, and I shake hands.
She shakes your hand. Um, she basically tells you what's going on, right? The king, as far as everyone else is concerned, is totally evil and totally crazy. He has total control over the guards. People